Welcome, everybody, back live to the ABJ podcast. Today, I am joined with the left-hand man, Vincenzo. This is going to be a fun one. Everyone tune in. Questions are in the chat. Make sure you hit like, share, subscribe if you're watching this back later, and let's have a good time. How you doing? Got a little bit of a lag. Here we are. We're back. ABJ podcast. Let's get a little bit of the housekeeping out of the way to start everything off. Your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Links below for myself and my guests. You can follow both of us on the links. I believe it's just their Instagram for now, but if they give me more, I'll link them down below. I'll bring them in one moment, but follow me on all social media, as well as check out the merchandise links and everything else going on. This is live currently on Facebook, YouTube, on the ABJ podcast, and the High Tension Network page, as well as Twitch. So if you guys are on any of those platforms, go check them out. We usually try to go live every Tuesday for interviews or some type of podcast content, and then we do usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and sometimes Fridays, but always pay-per-views unless I'm booked for a show. So there's always stuff going on here with live streams and hangouts, and it's a little bit of a variety show with interviews, pro wrestling, pop culture, horror movies. Like I said, it's got a lot. But yeah, links below for all of that, as well as merchandise if you want to get some ABJ merch. And that's pretty much all I got when it comes to the internet can shaking. There is a new feature when it comes to YouTube. It's called Hype. When you watch videos on YouTube, you earn XP. Those XP cost you nothing to earn, but you can use that XP 3 times a month or 3 times a week to boost up videos on YouTube. That helps smaller creators under a certain threshold. If you use those hype points, it puts those content creators in higher groups and makes it more visible in the YouTube audience for other people to see smaller creators. So if you are earning that XP, and if you can help by hitting the hype videos on anything on this channel or your favorite channels on YouTube, please do that because it helps us out tremendously, and not many people are aware of this brand new feature. That's pretty much all I got when it comes to the housekeeping. Let's bring in our guest and have some fun here tonight. What's going on, my guy?
Hey, Dom.
The left-hand man. I was going to say your last name, but I would have butchered it, and I didn't even give it a shot.
So it's Giordano.
Giordano.
I don't know why everyone keeps. I think it's because I have it in my Instagram bio.
That's 100% why I put it there.
You are not the first person who has done that thus far.
I always go to the Instagram. I say, okay, this looks like a worker page, and whatever they put there, they're okay with.
Yes, fair enough. So, yeah. I mean, it's cool, you know, but shoot-wise, that's my shoot last name, so it's all good.
All right, well, now dox them. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Now you got to pay extra. Just for the shoot last name, you got to pay extra.
Yeah. Well, now you got to fix it. You got to put left-hand man Vincenzo and then get rid of the last name.
Of course.
Yeah,
maybe, you know,
maybe
that's how I upcharge, you know, that's how I oversell it, you know.
Got you. All right. But we have met at PPW. I always look forward to seeing you at shows. Very, very friendly. One of my favorite 5 questions. You're supposed to be the return guest for this podcast, but you don't check your DMs.
Listen, they get flooded a lot, you know.
All the girls up in there?
No.
No. All right.
No. I don't play that way, you know.
All right, I don't want to get you in trouble.
We don't do that.
But you're always constantly blocking them, is what you're doing.
Correct, or they just get flooded with 18 million shares and things getting sent into. So it's just, you know, the whole new share feature. If somebody shares your post, you get.
Oh yeah. I personally love that. I think it's such a good way to get more audience on your posts because it shows your audience, their audience. It helps so much with promos for backstage at PPW. It's been helping me grow tremendously. So tell us about yourself and what do you do?
I'm a man of many talents. In the ring, out the ring. Definitely my main 2 things is wrestling and magic, and also music, but we could get into the music part later since that's not been actively in my life, you know, these past few years. But definitely wrestling and magic is like what I do.
Okay.
That's what I try to base my brand off of, is those 2 things. Magic has been just in my life as long as wrestling has been, since I've been 9 years old, you know?
Interesting. Have you met Nate at the shows and talked magic with him?
Nate. Who's Nate? Which one is Nate?
Nate was the guy that was helping with the backstage camera stuff with me on backstage. He does the switcher every now and then, and he also helped with the 50-50. He was backstage. He's Nate Heater, the magician. He's like a big street magician.
I'm very horrible with names. So Nate, if you're watching, all due apologies.
I gotta link you up.
I don't know if it's CTE or what it is, but who knows?
Yeah, next show I'm gonna
I'm good with the faces. I'm good with the faces. Like even the books, I could read, but I like the pictures better.
Yeah. The pop-up ones are the best ones.
Oh, of course. Oh, those are my favorite.
Yeah. So magic, music, and pro wrestling.
Indeed. And making money. Making money. Let's be straight. I'm the money collector when it comes to the family. So.
I wish I could make more money. That's my problem. I have not been motivated by money just because I didn't have it a lot growing up. And then when I needed it, I don't know how to hey, I'm worth more. So I just kind of just keep going. I'm like, they're just going to see it and I'm going to get it. And it never happens.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm not aggressive enough, I think, when it comes to making the money. But, I even like the beginning when I have to say hey, I have merchandise for sale. I hate it. I get a gross knot in my stomach and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I get like D and Always Sunny, where just gets uncomfortable and she wants to puke. Okay. That's me when it comes to talking money. So when did you fall in love with professional wrestling? And I mean, if you want to throw magic in there as well, what are the starts?
Well, pro wrestling was definitely way before magic. So my first memory of pro wrestling was, I don't even know how old I was. I must have been at least 2. I remember Triple H smashing Goldberg in the head with the sledgehammer. I believe that was an Elimination Chamber match in whatever year.
Was your family big wrestling family?
Oh, 1,000%. Awesome. My grandfather used to watch WWF back in the day. I remember before he passed, I remember being able to talk to him about wrestling, So that was always cool to pick his brain and stuff. My mother was a big wrestling fan. My father, basically, we grew up watching it. It was always in the household.
When I always ask what got you into wrestling, and they tell me their wrestling moment, it ages them. You could tell what era they were at that, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. At that point in time, I'm already this age, because I'm a little bit older. Oh wow, that's crazy. I think my first memory is watching the Rockers together before the Shawn split. Yeah, I've been watching a pretty long time.
Yeah, so I mean, it was always that, it was always around in our house. And then also my older brother, anything he did, I did, So I remember being 9 years old, him and his friends, they were all older than me. They'd started in the backyard. So we'd also just be in the backyard, beating the crap out of each other, not knowing what we're doing, just for shits and giggles.
What's the age difference between you two?
He was born in 93. I was born in 99. So 6 years.
Okay. I have a big age gap between me and my brother as well. We're 11.
Okay. Got you.
I think it's a different way of growing up when you have more than a 5-year gap between you and a sibling.
Oh, for sure. I agree with that 1,000%. So even my sister, me and her are best friends, she's older than me too, but she's younger than my brother.
Okay, so there's a little closer gap.
Yeah, she was born in 95, so me and her are 4 years apart.
Are you the baby?
I am.
Oh, the baby Italian in the family. Oh,
yeah.
You are pretty much Jesus, right? You can do no wrong.
Apparently, I mean, I don't know, Who knows? All I know is that I don't know,
You don't know what everybody else knows. I bet you have one of your family in here you're goddamn right. You could have burned the house down and got away with it. Are you the biggest one too, right? That's how it works?
Yeah. Me and my brother are very close in height, but he claims we're the same height or he's taller than me. That is not the case. My ID says different. My ID says I'm 6'4", which I am 6'4", and his ID says 6'3". So
you got him.
But he still thinks he's taller than me because he likes to claim because he slouches a lot. But
okay, he has a bad back.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He has to carry the family through, through a lot of hard times. So yes, he has a bad back.
So coming from an Italian side, I have an Italian side and an Irish side. We have. I'm a weird mix. But heritage wise, we have a little bit of English and German in there as well. But
Okay.
when it comes to the growing up, once I was very Irish, once I was very Italian. My Italian side. Now, I want to ask for you if you're similar to me. Do you have a lot of family members, cousins, whatever, all with the same name?
Not really, no.
Really?
Like
Okay.
there's a few Josephs, there's a few like and Marys, and like, but other than that, no, not really. I mean,
Mine's a
maybe in
weird one. It's
distant
Steven.
family, but
Mm-hmm.
like I'm the only Vincenzo. Like,
Okay. Yeah,
but it's
I
funny
broke the mold.
because
I was an Anthony, but all of my cousins for the most part were Steven because the I don't want to say the Don, but the respected grandfather, great grandfather, like everyone has to put his name in every kid's name.
yep.
You know what I mean? So I have like 475 cousin Stevens. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like,
gotcha. Yeah,
oh,
for
that's
sure.
Steven and that's Steven and there's Steven over there. Like my middle
Yep.
name's Steven. But my gram's like, no, we're gonna take a break from this. He'll middle name Steven, first name. My gram made me. My parents had no choice.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, like in the neighborhood, yes, there's a million Vinnies in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Vinny Smokes, we got Vinny Squash, we got Vinny Swifts, Vinny Sales because he likes boats, so we call him Vinny Sales.
Vinny
So
two
and
times so he
I'm
says
Vinny
everything
Snaps.
twice. You're Vinny
Yeah,
Snaps?
Vinny Snaps.
I like that. I like that. Oh, everything with the hands with you. Magic,
Always.
fingers,
Yep.
all right.
So I snap bones, ligaments, and also after a handshake, I snap. So
All right. When what area of New York did you grow up in? I don't want to put too much out there, but like what
I grew up
borough?
in the Bronx.
The Bronx? So you're a
wanna
Bronx
say,
tale.
even though Goodfellas is I prefer Goodfellas over a Bronx Tale, but Bronx Tale is still a
Great
tremendous
movie. Great
tremendous.
fucking movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up in the Bronx. Like we moved around a lot. Like when people ask me where in the Bronx, I legit say everywhere. Like we lived in every portion of the Bronx except
Okay.
Riverdale. But to me, Riverdale is not the Bronx. It's just northern Manhattan. Like,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, obviously, like going to public school and stuff was always in a certain part, Pelham Bay. Pelham Bay part of the Bronx. So that's like where my grandmother had her house. My great aunt and great uncle they lived on like in Throggs Neck and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So growing up, were you in like more of like a diverse school, or was it very just like Italian based? Like, what was there a lot of different culture?
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of different culture. Went to school with it was a great mix of everything. Yeah, I love the school that I was able to be in. Like my elementary and middle school was crazy, like in a good way. And then I was the bad. I was the bad way while it was crazy. So,
What kind of kid were you growing up? What were you into?
Same thing.
Just
Magic and wrestling. Yep.
No sports, nothing. You didn't play. Okay.
Of course, and sports, of course. Played basketball, baseball. What else? We did handball a lot.
Handball's a big New York thing. Everyone I know from New York
1000%.
plays handball.
1000%.
Or stickball. Stickball is another one everyone plays.
But now stickball, that's what they used to play back in the day, in like the 60s to 80s. And then now in my generation, we had the wiffle ball. The wiffle ball bat came with the plastic white ball, and we played that. But I remember when we lived on Decatur and 199 near the Botanical Gardens, that's what all of us would play outside is stickball.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was.
Do you
definitely...
ever watch the professional wiffle ball league? Like they play in a base in like someone's yard, and they have a professional camera set up, and they have this whole league. And then you have like the batter like this the box, and if you hit it, it's a strike or an instant out. It's wild.
So
it's
they have a
wild.
professional stickball league in Dykeman.
Really?
In Dykeman, in that part of the Bronx, and it's amazing. Like they legit. When was it? It was, I want to say maybe last month. I was driving down to one of the shows, most likely Battlefield. I was driving down to Battlefield, and I decided to get off the highway to avoid traffic, yet not knowing there's a whole block party going on. And part of that block party, they had their stickball league going on. And it was just amazing to watch, so it's awesome.
Lily is confused on what stickball is. I know you're pretty much. It's like baseball, but instead of a bat, you're playing with essentially a stick.
Yep.
And
a
it's
broomstick, a mop stick, any
Yeah.
any kind of stick like that.
Is it a rubber ball or is it just like a regular, like a wiffle ball?
So now, here's the inside. We used to use anything. Normally, it would be a handball, a rubber handball.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you didn't have money for that, you can either ball up a ball of tape, like duct tape, and use that. Or we used to do the rubber band balls as well.
Yeah. And like the harder you hit it, the more likely you have to like just make contact. Because if you try to kill it, you're probably just gonna pop it up, and you're not gonna get as much on it. Like there's a strategy to it.
Oh, 1,000%. You know how many handballs we lost roofing them?
Yeah.
And roofing them meaning like we'd hit it and it'd get stuck on the roof.
Yeah.
And later in the day or right before the sun would go down, we'd have to climb out the window up the fire escape just to collect all of them.
Mm-hmm. And literally, essentially, they're played in the middle of the street. Like it's baseball in the middle of the street. Like you just like, okay, that car is first base, that's second, that car's third, and home's back here. And you're just playing it, and you got to like chase the ball down underneath cars. You know, like it's like an obstacle course in baseball. Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I also used to play hockey as well in Waterbury Park. I remember, not ice hockey, it was roller hockey. But that was just like, basically, if you didn't have anything to do when you were a kid, you could go there. And Coach Robert, he actually looked out for a lot of kids in the neighborhood, you know, to keep them on the straight and narrow and all that kind of stuff. So shout out to Coach Robert.
Nice. So when did you start to pursue your industry? When you're like, okay, I really want to look into pro wrestling. I want to get to the next step here.
So there's two answers to that question. The first answer was when I was 10. So as I said, we wrestled in the backyard and all that kind of stuff. And then from the backyard, we would go to Pelham Bay Park. That's the biggest park in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody likes to question that, do your goddamn Googles. Everyone thinks
New York has the sirens go off in the background.
Everyone thinks it's Central Park. It is not Central Park. Central Park is the second largest park in all of the city. However, it is Pelham Bay Park. Because Pelham Bay Park consists of Orchard Beach, parts of New Rochelle, the Split Rock Golf Course, City Island, and Pelham Bay, plus the park. So it is a very large area of, what am I trying to think of? Just a very large area. There we go. Of land.
Yeah.
There we go. Of land. How you doing?
So
we started wrestling in the park, and then eventually we found a school in the Bronx that had a ring. Basically, you pay $10 every Wednesday, I believe it was. Open ring kind of deal. You sign a waiver. And I remember I started going there when I was 10. My brother was 15, 16, and all his friends were probably around the same age. So basically, just go there and learn, you know? So that's the first answer to that question. Second answer would be after I finished my schooling and I started working, I just fell out of it. Because even in middle school and stuff, I was on the wrestling team. Somewhat of high school, I was on the wrestling team as well. And then I just stopped because I started working. Then 2021 came around. My brother started training at Team 3D in Danbury, Connecticut.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So that's when I was like, wait, you're doing what? Okay, cool. As soon as I get my next check, literally my income taxes, I got them back, went straight up there, said, hey, I'm here to sign up. Let's get it going. And then my brother was like, all right, I'll put the word in and let Bubba know. And then from there, it's been history.
Now, is Bubba and Devon legit training you at this school, or is it just their name and they have other people doing
Bubba, they legit train. So Bubba runs the one in Danbury. Devon runs the one in Florida.
Interesting.
So it originated in Florida, in Kissimmee. Or it might have been actually a different part at that time. I'm not too sure. Then I guess when Bubba got his Sirius XM deal, he moved back up here. I'm not too sure about the logistics on that, but
yeah.
it all originated in Florida. Like
Now
the
they're
Millbrook
both
House,
they're also
like,
both Gleason's gyms guys, right? They were both changed by Johnny Rods and then went on to start their own schools.
from what to my knowledge, I know only Devon is a Gleason's guy and Johnny guy.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I believe Bubba only learned that from Devon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not. I could. I could. I
be
thought
wrong.
maybe Bubba was there for a little bit, but I don't know if what the whole story is. 'Cause I know Devon, Dreamer, and there's another ECW guy that all came from Johnny Rods. I'm having a brain fart on who it is.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Interesting. So what is it like working with Bubba? Bubba is a very polarizing guy. Either you love him or you hate him. I love his mind for the business. I hate the way he conducts himself sometimes.
So now, me personally, I never had any issues with him. Obviously, there's other stories with some other students and stuff like that, but I like to keep it as Fight Club. I don't like putting it out there.
Most of the complaints I've ever heard are from fans. Like fans have been a big interaction because he's the bully. Like he's not always the nicest guy because he's either in gimmick or that's just who he is.
He's an Italian from New York.
Yeah.
Like, my relationship with him was always like an uncle, like,
yeah.
But
he does got a great mind. Like he has really good takes on Busted Open. A lot of times I feel like I say him on my stream and then the next day he's saying I'm Busted Open. I'm not saying he's listening to me by any means, but it just shows we're probably on the same page when we see something and we're like, oh, that just makes sense.
Of course. Yeah. And I will always give him, and our head trainer was Randy Shawn. So he used to be on the indies. He still is, but he used to go by Jay Buster back in the day. He was also part of the Spirit Squad, all that kind of stuff. Too.
Yeah. Lindsay here, great question. Does your brother still wrestle?
No. No, Lindsay, he doesn't. So I started in 21, March of 21, and then my nephew was born December of 2020.
What day? December
23rd.
Oh, okay. I was making sure we're sharing birthdays here. I'm earlier in December.
When's your birthday?
The 5th.
Okay, got you. So
are you in December too?
I'm a June. No, but my brother, my mother, and my brother's wife is all December.
So people were having a good time. People were having a good time St. Patty's Day.
My godmother's in December as well. She's the 21st. My godmother's the 21st of December. But my mother, my nephew, and my father all share the same birthday, which is wicked.
That's crazy. Me and my brother are 5 days apart because my parents' anniversary and St. Patty's Day are like on the same spot, and that they just celebrate, and then a baby pops out.
Oh yeah, I guess that's how it works. But my brother, he actually stepped away just so he can take care of the family at that time.
Smart.
He also had a very rigorous job. He was the guy at said job, and he basically had to eat, live, breathe, and shit that job essentially.
Yeah.
So I also worked for that same company as well, and same thing. So I made my debut in December of 22, got the new job, was told no weekends.
Oh.
So all of 2023, I was out of like the indies, like I made my debut. Great. I was I was all hype about it. All right, this is my goals for how I want this year to go. Got the job, no weekends. Okay, cool.
That's
and eventually I basically got fed up, told them all to go fuck themselves, because I have no filter. I try to keep it professional as long as I could, However, it just comes to a point where it's like, all right, I'm gonna take a bet on myself. And I've been happy ever since.
How did Magic come about? With
my older brother.
Okay.
So anything he did, I did.
Okay.
Wrestling, Magic, working in the movie theater industry.
I did too. I worked in a theater.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah. So what? Like, are you a card trick guy? Like, what all can you? What all can we do with Magic?
So sleight of hand. Also, we had different gimmicks. Now I'm not sure if I know I don't really have much. I stick to cards and like I ordered a few new things like coin magic and all that kind of stuff too. But mostly just sleight of hand because that's what I feel most comfortable with. I could also like pickpocket, so make sure you have your wallet.
At all times.
Take watches off wrists and all that kind of shit too. So
I like that.
Some mentalism, like reading minds and doing all that kind of shit. So yeah.
I definitely got to partner you up with Nate. You two are gonna have a blast with each other.
There was another kid that Logie, like legit, he was at some show and I got a random video text from Logie and he was like, yeah, there's this, I forget his name. So
it might be Nate because Nate did a trick with Logie at PPW.
He was there at PPW this past Saturday.
Yeah. Yep.
He had a bun, right? Is that who?
No, Nate doesn't have. He has like a buzz cut. He's kind of a bigger dude. I forget what shirt he was wearing, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So there was another guy that was there. I told you I'm horrible with names. I'm good with faces, just horrible.
I'm the same way. I'm honestly the same way.
So Logie just sent me a random video text one day saying, like, he's like, you're not the only magician anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like it was great. It was decent. It was a pretty cool trick. I knew how to do it, but what can I say?
I love that. It's like how Penn and Taylor fool me. So, what were the beginning stages of you finding your place when it comes to professional wrestling? Like going through the early stages, you got to get the shit kicked out of you at bully school, right? Like he's not taking Bully's a really big respect guy. Like you're not just walking in, getting his ring and go and just. Like, I feel like you got to, because he's even the person that if you're even across the barrier, you need to train. Thankfully, I didn't have to do any of that because my body is not equipped for that. And that's why I do commentary. But I respect it. I don't go in the ring. I'm not that guy who's like, oh, I'm a content creator and I also want to sneak in and do wrestling and I'm not trained, or I want to be a manager and I'm not trained. Like, I'm only in there if I absolutely have to. And it's not to do any spots because I didn't earn that.
Of course. I get that. So it took me, I think, 3 months to get into the ring. It could have been longer. I don't remember. I have a shit memory. But anywhere from like 3 to 5 months on the floor, chain wrestling. Learn how to lock up. Like there was legit classes where I was just there, just locking up. That was the class. Just locking up. Next class, lock up, top wrist lock. So it's very
fundamental
smart,
based.
Fundamental based, but also smart how he did that. Because he's not like there's some kids on shows that we're on that I might overhear or hear like they would tell me themselves. Yeah, I've only been training like 4 months, so it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like if that works for you, great. But it's like. Now I understand why you're doing certain high spots and certain, like you're more prone to injury, in my opinion.
Yeah,
That.
There's no in-ring psychology. You're looking to be flashy and not, and you kind of lose that art of storytelling within the ropes. Sometimes you don't always have to work super hard to get a crowd. Sometimes it's just a look, or it's a demeanor, or it's a walk. There's like. You can do those basic fundamentals and still tell a story and not have to even do like anything wild. Like it's not always about the moves, it's about the moments you create within the match.
But that is, to me, that's the difference between, I guess sports entertainment is not really the same thing anymore.
No, it's two different industries.
Yeah, now they're still going, now they can say pro wrestling on TV, but that's the difference between pro wrestling and sports entertainment or WWE, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because WWE is pro wrestling. It's always been pro wrestling, Granted, they switched the terminology. However, it's still that,
Yeah, I definitely think there's a different scoop of flavor for every pro wrestling, and I think all of them are welcome, and I all think they're needed.
1,000%.
Like I don't judge if that's your style, if you're a comic or you're a gimmick or you're just, hey, I just do goofy stuff. Be the best goofy guy out there. Like there's a spot for you to do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what were some setbacks or adversities you'd had to overcome? in your career?
Balancing the shoot job with this, that was the biggest one. And like I said, I got fed up to a point where it was just like, all right, like, fuck this job, like I felt held back. And the craziest thing is, like, I went to shows, but I just knew personally, like, if I know I can't make this commitment, like once every week or twice a month or 3 times a month, then I'm not going to just put myself out there to be, hey, can I like start taking bookings essentially, So I'm glad I did it that way though, because not that I just showed up, booked, wrestle, next month I can't, following month I can't, so it's just like, but that, I feel like that was my biggest thing I had to overcome. It's that right there.
How is it right now getting booking for you? How many different companies are you working for?
Oh, honestly, it's tremendous. I've been since legit last year, since March of last year, I've been constantly booked every month. So right now I'm running 4 or 5 promotions, like
awesome.
strict. So, and they're not like, they're not shindies either. Like, and that's the biggest part. Like, to me, Battlefield is my number one.
Yeah.
1000%. That's my bread and butter. Alpha took me in, gave me the chance, and I've been there ever since. And that was March of last year.
When we used to be in the building, I was the commentary guy there, and that I don't know if it's fixed, but man, that building was hot and extremely cold in the beginning stages. I know they were working on fixing that in the middle, but then I used to go in and see BP in the Zumba room, and that's where the backstage promo spot was. And I remember going in the Zumba room and it's all air conditioner and it's beautiful in there. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. And now where we are in Slatington, the promo room is 1,000,000 degrees. I'm dying back. I don't know how it's going to be in the winter. I haven't done winter shows yet there, but oh my God, it's I that's the one thing I do miss about the location that Battlefield's in oh my God, where the hell is that? Not Slatington. Broadheadsville. Thank you. Great venue. I think the wrestlers really love this fact that you can go out and get a pump on in the gym or get a quick, you know what I mean? Then go in the Zumba room, and like there's a lot of places to kind of do your thing. There's a massage table, you know what I mean? Like the little food snack place there. Like it's a great venue. They do a great job. Great parking spots.
We just renovated too, so it's even 1,000,000 times better now.
I just seen a video of like the stage. Like you guys built the whole stage. There's a whole backstage area. Like it looks way different. I haven't seen it fully, but from what I'm used to and then what you guys are doing now, it has greatly improved, and you guys are putting a lot of good work in there.
Well, you gotta come down, bro.
Yeah, I gotta come see a show soon. The roster is fantastic too. I just seen what Tommy Vincible took on Rich Holiday.
Yep.
Yeah,
that happened at Battlefield. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're doing cool stuff, man. I mean, I worked with Alpha a bunch of times. He's always been super nice to me, but I just haven't had a chance really to. When he was kind of starting off and PPW was changing venues, is around the same time I was going through a divorce, and that's when I kind of stepped away from wrestling because I didn't really know what my life was going to entail at that point in time. And then kind of around the time when I met you at PPW is when I first kind of broke back into wrestling, because I took a huge chunk off because I'm the same way. If I can't be at a promotion every single month and dedicate myself to that promotion every month, and I'm half in, half out, there 1 month, off 3 months, back a month, I won't consider myself part of that team because I'm not as consistent.
No, 1,000%. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But so the promotions I'm really at is Battlefield, Gremlin House Wrestling, that's based out of New Jersey.
Okay.
Tremendous. We have a show coming up in October 25th. We got Journey Fatu, Zilla Fatu, BG Wayne. Who else we got? I believe Sandman, Zach Clayton from FBI. I could keep just naming names, but that's a great place to be at as well. That's where I joined the FBI. Was at Gremlin House, which is crazy.
You worked with Guido, little Guido?
Yeah. Guido and Ray Jazz.
Guido is unfucking. A lot of people just see him for his comedy character, but people don't realize like that man is a fucking worker. Like his mat skills and his chain and he's like Regal level good. Like his stuff in Japan, he was fucking people up.
Guido is a great man.
Yeah, I love every time I'm on a show and Guido's there, I'm just in awe. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy he's here. Like I love him. I love him to death. He's so good. And he's always a class act person to work with.
1000%.
Yeah. What are some key moments or accomplishments you have had so far in your career?
Definitely that. Joining FBI in a way. See, this past Sunday also was another big one. Kibitzers, me and the Vetrano brothers went up against the team Genesis. So Clipper Jones, Ken Powers, and TKO Kasenko. All 6 of us all trained at 3D, and this was the first match that all of us were in together.
Oh wow!
And it was 2 separate groups. Like they have their group, we have our group. So that was pretty amazing and surreal to do that. See, Taco Fest for Battlefield back last March, or no, it was May. Yeah, May. Sorry.
Taco Fest.
Where was it? It was at Pocono State Park.
Oh wow!
The day before May 4th. May the 4th be with you. There was the day before Cinco de Mayo. So yeah, that match was actually me and Ken versus the Vetrano brothers. So, and that was my first match back since my debut. So that was only my second ever match, and my first match at Battlefield. So that was pretty surreal. Me and Wrecking Ball Legursky as well. That hit differently because I also trained, like we trained together as well at 3D. Trying to think. I feel like me and Rico Gold from Love Hurts, we put on a banger. So me and Rico had 2 matches in Battlefield for Futures. Our first match was, I think, in January at the January Futures. And then we ran it back in February. Now, the January one really didn't, it went okay. But in February, we had a point to prove why we are who we are, Mm-hmm. So I definitely, that match still sticks with me. I got to Canada this year. So me wrestling in Canada, that was definitely on my list of goals. And for this year, and for me to somehow make that happen, it was great, Yeah.
What promotion was it?
Supernova Wrestling.
Okay.
And it was like a cross promotion. It was Supernova Wrestling and then Kaiju Pro. Kaiju Pro, I believe, are based out of Connecticut.
Yeah. No, they're not the same as Big Kaiju Battle, right? They're 2 different things.
I believe so. I believe it's
okay. Yeah. So this is kind of like a 2-parter. So I was going to ask you who your role models and influences are, but for people who've never watched you wrestle, who would you say you most emulate, or like the style of match that you put on?
See, it's hard for me to answer that myself, because mm-hmm. Yes, I watch back all my footage and all that kind of stuff. However, I don't like to compare to others,
Yeah.
I'm just me. Like I heard what people compare me to, like I get Bray Wyatt sometimes. I guess that's just because of my stature and look, maybe,
and athletic for your size. Like people would probably see your size and don't realize how athletic you are.
Yeah. I get him a lot. There's who else have I gotten recently? I forgot what one of the brother just told me. It was somebody else, but big men who are very athletic for their size.
Yeah,
that's who I really get compared to a lot. Kevin Nash, another one.
Who's your favorite athletic big man?
Oof, let's see.
That's not Alpha Jr. because he's very athletic for his size as well. Samoans are just deceiving.
Yes.
They can be 8,000 pounds, but they're still doing moonsaults. I was like, how the fuck do you do that?
So, growing up, that's who I like, like Mark Henry was one of my favorite wrestlers, Umaga.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big John Studd. Like that's what I watched. That's what I studied, you know? Even at a young age, like me and my brother would just watch tape for hours and hours and hours. And like now I'm just watching tape by myself, or if I'm at the Vetrano's house, like we'll watch something, you know, like we stay up to date with everything, but like, all right, let's watch something from back then, you know? Like
Yeah.
um I like Austin Idol. Austin Idol is another big man, like a big guy, but he's very athletic and all that kind of stuff. So that's my kind of style of wrestling. Like being able to do moves, but make them make sense and tell a story at the same time while doing it.
I'm a Vader guy. Vader,
Okay,
and
yep.
I love Vader, and I love actually, if I like Vader, I love Bam Bam Bigelow. I loved Bam Bam.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Bam Bam growing up too. Like even still now, there's certain spots that I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. That
I'm
looked
rocking.
amazing.
I'm rocking my Luna right now.
Hey.
Did you watch on AEW? I think it was their last pay per view. They brought in from Stardom, Bozilla. She's like this big German chick. She's like a bodybuilder, huge, like she's like wrestles like a female Bam Bam Bigelow. She's like a supermodel, female big girl who just is doing second rope moonsaults on people. Like she's killing it. Yeah.
I've probably seen clips, but I definitely didn't watch that last pay-per-view.
I hope that when Sammy goes over to Japan, somehow they find a way to put her and Bozilla together, because I need that match in my life.
That would honestly be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still convinced that we're not getting Sammy back. I think Sammy's going to Japan, and she may come home to like tie up loose ends. But I genuinely think when she goes over there, just because of the way she conducts herself, how easy she is to work, how versatile she is, I think that's going to be her home for a while. I think she's that good. I don't think we're going to see Sammy in the States much longer. And which is a good thing, because I want her to get to that next level, but I think she's made for that Japanese style and just being a big base and just throwing around these tiny girls, and like, but also can, like, no one has done it yet, really. She does it in her promos, but like, she's fucking funny. She has really good comic timing, and she can tell she can tell a whole story with just her eyes. She has the best facial expressions in pro wrestling.
I 1000% agree with that.
Yeah.
Also, another big like inspiration was Jericho.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I remember I must have been at least like 10, 11 whenever his second book came out. Like my brother had his first book. Like we bought it or got it from Pathmark back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we get all our wrestling magazines. Go to Pathmark, get them, and I think we still have them actually in the storage unit. Just a big, like 2 or 3 big IKEA bags filled with wrestling magazines from like 2005 to the last year they produced them.
Were you getting the Abner mags?
The what?
The Bill Abner mags.
Which ones are those?
Bill Abner was like the big wrestling journalist for a while. I don't know if he still has the magazines, but he was a big magazine. Bill Abner was essentially the guy who got Jerry Lawler versus Andy Kaufman to happen.
No, I know the name. I know the person. I just don't remember.
Yeah, he that was his Abner. I can never say his name. I have dyslexia. But okay. He had a magazine for a while, and then obviously Pro Wrestling Illustrated was a big one too.
Yeah, we always used to get the Pro Wrestling Illustrated or the PW Insider.
Yeah,
I think that one as well. But any WWE magazines from those years we got, like from 2005 to I think it was like 2011 or 2012. When
the Raw magazines, I remember those.
Yep.
There was a Sean poster in the one Raw magazine I always wanted. I never got it. Like back when Sean just broke up with the Rockers, and they had that like him looking in the mirror when he just came out with the sexy boy gimmick, and they had like a big open, like the one you open it and had the poster in the middle. Every magazine had the poster. I was like, my one buddy had it and he showed me. I was like, I want that fucking poster. I was trying to look for it on eBay or something, but it's so old. Like it's just hard to find in good shape.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
So back to the Jericho
unlocked a key memory.
I read the first book. You know, me and my brother read the first book, and then it was funny because legit a day after I finished reading the first book in school, we saw the post. I think it was on Facebook maybe, or this was back in the day also when WWE.com was still a very big thing.
Yeah.
And you would go on there for meet and greets, and they would legit name off what superstars, where to meet them, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, it was all in the city. So I believe
wasn't WWE World still a thing? The restaurant place, was that still a thing around that time, or was it gone?
It was gone. I think in 01 or 02.
Yeah, I never. So real fast, this is gonna blow your mind. I've never been to the city. Ever. I've been to Dominican Republic. I've been to London. I've been to California, Colorado. I'm 2.5 hours away from New York City. I've never been to the city. I have no idea what it's like. I've been to upstate New York. I've never been to the city.
You let me know when you would like to plan a trip, and Left Hand Man will take you around the city. How you doing?
All right. I want to go see a Battle Club show, like where they do the Battle Clubs.
Yeah. With Rem and stuff, right? That's what Rem
but I'm gonna sound stupid, but I'm just being honest. I'm being vulnerable right now. I don't know how to do public transportation. Where I live, I've never been on a train or a bus or a subway. I don't know how any of that shit works.
Fair enough. I got you though. Don't worry. You're gonna have to pay a little extra fee though. You know, tour guide, Left Hand Man. But
I'll buy you some beer.
We'll convince about that later.
All
right. So literally legit. The day after I read Jericho's first book, my brother told me Jericho has a new book coming out and he's going to be in the city at Borders. Borders, I think, was a book. I think that's the name of the bookstore that used to be around. So I was like, hell yeah, let's go. We went. He signed the book for us, sat down, took a picture and all that kind of stuff. And anytime we met wrestlers and they would sign something and they'd ask, what name do you want it to be signed? We always used our gimmick names at the time.
I love that.
So my brother's Dom the Dom, the godfather of professional wrestling. Me, I was Vinny the Guinea. How you doing? So that's what we
Only we can say that. Only we can say that.
Yes, only.
That's our word. That's our word.
He looked at the names and he's like, Dom the Don, Vinny the Guinea. What are these names? And we're like, oh, we're wrestlers, you know? So he basically just like stopped the line for 20 minutes and just talked to us. And just basically, he spoke to my brother more because obviously my brother was older. So, and I was just a younger brother at the time. And he's like, look, like, this is the plan. This is what you guys, if you really want to do this, these are the few things that you can, this is the few ways that you could go about it. And at the end, he was like, I hope to see you down the line on your journey. So that's, to me being now where I am and still in it and still going towards all my dreams and aspirations and goals. That is, Jericho Cruise is like my goal for next year.
My buddy's band played the cruise.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they were on this cruise. They played their one show, and I'm so bummed. But my buddy brought me back a Jericho. Like I don't want to say I fell out of love with Jericho. I'm the guy sometimes if depending on what you do outside the ring or what you're involved in, it does diminish you a little bit in my eyes. So there's certain aspects of Jericho that I did fall out of love with, but Jericho, Sean's always is my number one. Mick Foley's my number two, and Jericho always bounces in and out of the top five, but he was always someone I really, really, really enjoyed. Like just in the ring, he was just unbelievable, and just the way he could reinvent himself and stuff. I love AEW, but towards the end there, he was tougher to watch. But yeah, Jericho's a goat, man. He's one of the best. Yeah,
I hated him. Growing up, I legit hated him.
Really?
I was a Cena fan, bro. Like, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So
I miss a lot of Cena's run. So that was the Cena, like the Ruthless Aggression era is when I got out of wrestling and I became a giant MMA fan. I was only watching UFC. And then I came back to wrestling about around the time I started the podcast up, so like 8 years ago. Like they're like, yo, if you should get back into wrestling, there's two guys you're gonna love. And I'm like, all right, who are they? And they're like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll turn into this week's Royal Rumble and I'll watch this Rumble. And then immediately after that Rumble, they were gone. They were just gone forever. And I was like, well, now what do I do? And then I just had to find new people to like. But yeah, And then I just got back into it. I was like, man, this is a lot of fun. It makes me feel young again. It makes me feel like a kid. I do like when I have those moments in wrestling where I get that juice where I'm like, oh, they got me, because it's not. I watch so much of it, it's hard to get me. You know what I mean? PPW, I had that moment this weekend where I legit got that feeling where I like when Jaeger in the ladder match where he picked up Sean Smith and he had him in the crossbody and then took the next step up and the entire crowd just gasped. That got me. I was like, oh, this is why I love wrestling. That fact that one moment they had where the whole crowd was like, oh my God, he just took a step up. Like, that's why I love this business. Like, right there.
1,000%. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So goals you have set for yourself personally and in the industry?
Personally, finances, keep all that in check. Also getting my body into a better physique. Like I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life, but now just getting my body to the next step physique wise, and I'm sure I could be in better shape too, professionally, Jericho Cruise, definitely. I feel like that to me is what I need to, that's like my North Star at the moment.
You might want to hit that up soon, because if he re-signs, if the rumors are true that he's going back to the E, I don't know if they're going to let him do the cruise.
There's still, why not?
Because WWE's weird about doing outside stuff outside the business.
Is it though?
Sometimes.
I mean,
who you are.
I guess. However, but it's still his cruise,
Yeah.
It's like saying, I don't know how to put that into a comparison, but it's like
newer WWE is probably a lot laxer, but if it was a Vince situation, I don't know if they would allow Jericho to do the cruise.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But then, it's like saying, oh, we can't send our top guy to go away for 6 months to film a movie.
Yeah.
Granted, it's a different thing, but it's still his business,
Yeah.
Like that's where I feel like they would still be open to it, because it's his business outside of it,
I'm curious how he, depending on what his departure, I still don't know if he's leaving. Because Jericho's the biggest worker of all time. Like, he's telling people he might be going back, but it's just for him to make a return to AEW later, because he's very good at that as well. But I'm wondering, because I don't think WWE sends their guys to the Jericho Cruise to go work like AEW would. Like, AEW sends a quarter of their roster and like, oh, go ahead, go party with Jericho for a while, go get some content and come back. Our roster's deep enough that we won't miss you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if the same thing would happen if he left and then tried to bring WWE talent, or if the AEW guys would work with him if he signs back with E. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out depending on where he goes.
I think if he was to sign back with the E, he would be the bridge between the two.
Yeah.
Because
I think he's eventually going to go back and get in the Hall of Fame and do all of that. That's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. But for instance, there's been shows where you had talent from both companies on, indie shows.
Yeah.
So it's not an indie, it's just his cruise, so it's not televised unless they did it like an AEW, which
they would usually televise right before they left port. They would usually film something in the dock.
Yeah.
And then they would go on the dock and film and do stuff. Yeah. So this is a question
to get my first singles title at Battlefield. That I feel like that's going to be a very monumental moment for me personally and obviously professionally.
I love that.
Because that, like I said, Battlefield is my home. That's where I got my break in is the Battlefield, and so my first singles title definitely before the end of this year. That's what I'm towards. So we'll get there.
Is there a title you're looking at?
All
of them,
of course. But however, I am on the Futures brand, so let me not get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
But the Futures title, WXW United States title, those two belts are definitely looking very nice and promising. So I got my eyes on everything. I watch it all. Obviously, like I said, this is only my first year first full calendar year technically on the indies, and in Battlefield as well. So I've been dropping bodies left and right and making memories and all that kind of stuff too. So it's just a matter of time to put more ass in seats for them to come and for me to drop another body to whoever the champion is at the time. Left hand man is.
You do conduct yourself very well. You're definitely a good person to have in the locker room. You're a good hand. Like, and that all comes with, hey, we should put something on him because he's earning those respects. So I think you're well on your way, and you're doing all the right things from the other side of the curtain that maybe the fans don't see. You're always down to help. You're always down to do things. You're always down to work, and that definitely goes a long way. Here's a question that was added to the question list a while ago, and sometimes I forget to ask it, but now we got it all situated. What is your favorite and least favorite type of fan?
So, personally, or just in general, in Gunther?
Either one.
So
you answer how you want to answer.
All fans, bro. I love all fans.
Okay.
Except the guzzlers that decide to fucking stalk people outside their hotel room. Like, to me,
weird, yeah.
Like, if you're a grown man doing that, you're nuts. Like, I'd be the first to pull up myself and fucking knock a guy out, you know? Like,
yeah.
Now, if it's a kid, different story, you know? Like, but I feel like kids wouldn't be crazy enough to go up to a hotel room. They'd wait for them in the lobby.
The parents are coaching them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's just bad.
Or the airport people, where they stalk the flights and then see who's flying in and then stay there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I don't like that either. What are some hobbies or interests outside of the industry that you're into?
I've definitely been into fitness. Like, honestly, when I first started training, that's what really got me back into it. Like I said, I was always an active kid. I always played sports, whether it was in school or outside of school. Like, we were always at the park every day. Playing basketball, handball. We were always on bikes, scooters, skateboards, all that kind of stuff at the skate park. So I was always an active kid, always into, not really going to the gym at that age, but just being active.
Mm-hmm.
But starting training again in 2021 got me back into my fitness journey. I used to be a fat fuck. I was 380 pounds when I first started.
Wow.
Fat fuck. Like, out of shape, out of weight, out of breath. I couldn't even do 5 push-ups, bro. Like, when I first started. Probably not even one good full one,
Wow.
So that I give to that school and the trainers there and everything. Because we did a whole hour of boot camp before we even got in the ring.
Yeah.
So boot camp is just brutal. And especially at that time, this was still COVID. So the gym clients, like, because it's in an actual gym called Platinum Fitness, the gym clients and the wrestling school were always separate until we went into the gym for the ring. Mm-hmm. So we'd be doing things in hallways without machines. So running laps, any calisthenic, burpees, push-ups, sit-ups, all that kind of stuff. Body squats. I remember we firemen carry people and squat their body weight, all that kind of stuff. So I've been really into fitness and like going to the gym, especially now. Like, I feel like it helps me, like mm-hmm. it sets the tone for the day and for my mental health too. Like, I accomplished, like, that's my baseline for the day. Waking up, gym, anything else happens, any bullshit happens, it doesn't matter because I'm set for the day. I'm at my baseline.
Yeah.
Now, then there's days where I wake up, I'm fucking sore as shit, and I'm dead because I've been working all week, last week up until this week, so it's like I still find my time to still do my 100 push-ups, burpees, and squats a day. But it's just, there's days where I know, like, I don't go to the gym. Vinny snaps might come out,
So, Vinny might snap. Yeah,
exactly.
Are you motivated by pop culture at all? Are you a movie TV music guy?
1000% movies. We just saw The Conjuring. Me and my girlfriend just saw The Conjuring recently.
Okay.
So, movie. I fucking loved it. Start to finish, the story about it, everything was great to me.
They're good movies. I just don't like the Warrens.
Fair enough.
Not a fan of the Warrens. I think they were con art. So I love the paranormal supernatural. I think it's super fun. I just don't believe in any of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're con artists. But the movies are fun to watch. I just watched the new Jurassic Park.
I did not see that.
It's horrible. It's terrible.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's not good.
So I don't like to go. I like to go into the movies, even when people tell me their opinion. I still don't take it, because I like to watch it myself. And there's very few movies that I go to the theater for.
Same.
Like I could care less about going to the theater to see that movie.
A movie dropped like a month ago and it's already on streaming. So I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll wait a month.
Exactly.
I'm gonna watch Superman probably tonight.
I still haven't seen that. Yeah. I heard mixed reviews, but I like to give every movie my own.
I'm the same way.
Take.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I worked in the theater for many years, I'm still in the theater business as well. Like it's just nuts. So
what was your least favorite movie to work when it was in?
I want to say Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you the reason why. We're open from Thursday to Sunday. All 4 days we were open, pumping.
We had to tell people the one time during Star Wars when I worked. I was a high school kid working, but we had to go in there and tell people they had to take their seats because they were in the aisles and in the front by the screen, lightsaber fighting. Grown people, and they weren't doing it to be funny. They were
nuts.
Yeah, I was like, you guys got to take your seats. Like, there's people who are not nerds who want to actually see it, and they don't want to see you guys up there rolling around doing fucking lightsaber fights. Yeah. Mine was I was just telling them earlier, the Polar Express, because I was an usher and I had to clean the theaters, and by the end of the week I fucking hated the hot chocolate song because you're cleaning the theaters, it's fucking sticky popcorn and soda, and I'm just listening to Tom Hanks screaming every single day, 4 times a day, all week. I'm like, to this day I've still never seen the movie. I won't do it. Like, I hate it.
Watch it, bro. It's a golden Christmas movie.
I really like
there was definitely movies that some of those songs are still ingrained in my brain.
Yeah. Like, Madagascar. I like to move it. I heard that 1,000 times. Yeah.
Even at the bowling alley, when I used to work at the bowling alley, that was the job that I started working after I debuted. They had a playlist, and it's the same playlist every day. So anytime I hear a song now, in my head, naturally, I know what song is supposed to be playing next after that one.
Yeah.
Yet I don't have the playlist on my phone. So it's just shit like that I still remember that's ingrained in my brain.
That's how it was for the Regal commercials. We had TVs in the lobby, and the Regal commercials were over and over and over, and I can quote them.
Yep. So I worked for AMC. I still do, but that was my first shoot job.
So if I need one of those fancy popcorn buckets, I hit you up, and then you could bring it to the show for me.
Possibly.
Okay, good to know.
Depends.
Good to know.
What do you mean no? Hey, I gotta cross state lines with it, bro. Like it's contraband, bro. We're crossing state lines. Now I have to cross 2 states to get to you. So that's double tax right there.
All right, we'll figure it out.
We will. So I worked at that was my first on the books job. I've been working since I was 11, but that was my first ever on the books job at 18. It was at AMC in Times Square, Empire 25.
What'd you do?
The busiest movie theater in America. And also it was up until I think 2020. Oh no, not even. I want to say maybe up until 2021. It was the largest movie theater in America.
Wow. What'd you do? What was your first job off the books?
Cleaning I was just a cleaner and a helper of the American Legion in the neighborhood.
Gotcha. I worked for an Italian man who owned a pawn shop.
Oh, that's
I was a
honestly kind
pawn
of
shop.
fire.
Yeah, I was a pawn shop. He was the most Italian man I've ever met in my life, and he was nuts. His
What was
pawn
his
shop
name?
was definitely a front. His name was Tom King.
Tom King.
Yeah, Tom King. But he looked exactly like the pawn shop owner in the movie The Crow.
Oh, yo. Yo, that's great.
Yeah. There was more than movies going on out of that building. Good stuff. So while we're in the topic of movies and television shows, I need to know your top Italian mobster movies.
Yeesh. Okay.
Goodfellas number one.
Yeah, Goodfellas definitely number one. I'd
Okay.
probably throw Bronx Tale number two. Number three is definitely Casino.
Okay.
Actually, I'm switching it. Goodfellas, Donnie Brasco.
As I say, Donnie Brasco's got to be up there. Yeah.
Casino, then Bronx Tale, and then I guess it'd have to be fucking Godfather, you know?
Yeah. I love The Godfather. Don't get me wrong. Great movie. But when I tell people it's not in my top 5, they get really upset. I'm like, it's just, you got to commit for that movie. You watch it and you're like, okay, it's almost like it stands on its own. But yeah. I don't know. The other ones to me are just they're more complete films, and I can watch them in more bite. Like the Goodfellas to me is just like, there's that funny, there's that serious, there's that fucking, oh my God, I'm scared. There's a lot going on with that list. The Italian, not sorry, I Paint Houses. The book was, but what the hell was the movie called? The Irishman. That was a good one. Yeah, The Irishman was good.
It was a great one. However, I had to watch it 2 separate times.
Yeah, it's really long.
So, fun fact: after I left AMC, I worked for a different company called Bowtie Cinemas, based out of Ridgefield, Connecticut. They were hired. My company was hired to run the operations for the second ever Netflix theater. Technically, it was the first. However, now there's 2. They have one in Los Angeles, one in New York. It's called the Paris Theater. So this was legit right before COVID. Like I started working there in September of 2019, and then we shut down in March to do renovations because it wasn't ADA compliant. And fucking great old Uncle Sam and New York City likes to make their money, Yep. So we had a premiere for The Irishman at my theater, and I will never forget that day. I made sure fresh haircut, made sure I took my suit to the dry cleaners, put my 3-piece suit on, had my nice tie matching with the handkerchief in the pocket, had the nice jewelry on. Well, I always had these on, but not over the tie, Yeah. Had the nice watch, the nice rings, all that stuff, because I knew De Niro and Scorsese were coming to my theater. And I was damned if I did not introduce myself to them. And there's always the policy where if anybody comes to the theater for X event, like an event, you cannot say a word to them.
Yeah,
I never believed that because it's like I get it, but it's like they're just people. Like,
yeah. If I'm in the same vicinity as De Niro, I'm going to try to shake his hand.
Oh, but I have to hand them the microphones before going out on stage. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? Just here you go, like, and just look like a jackass? No.
Mm-hmm.
I walked up to them like, hey, Mr. Scorsese, how you doing? I'm Vincenzo. I'm the theater manager here. I'm handing you your microphone, but is there anything else I could get for you? We have tea, coffee, whatever, just easing it in that way. Oh, yeah, I'll take a nice cup of hot tea. Great, cool. Told one of my subordinates to go grab it from downstairs, and they brought it up to me. Here you go, sir. Here's your tea. And now we're just shooting the breeze. So it was amazing. Like, he was like, oh, this is a beautiful theater. I remember coming here when I was a kid, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm running it now, and I grew up watching all your movies. He's like, yeah, which one is your favorite? Hold on, let me take a guess. Goodfellas, huh? I'm like, of course, yes, Goodfellas, and I gave him the list.
I would have been like, you're a funny guy.
So we started kibitzing and all that stuff, and anytime we have like people from the movie, like the actors from any movie, and I have posters for it, my deal is to have the actors sign their poster, just for my sake. Like I always did two, one for the theater and one for me. Absolutely. And then if like any of my other managers wanted one, then of course, like we did another premiere for PS to the Boys I Love, or whatever the hell Netflix movie that was, like a girly chick flick. So all my girl managers were going crazy about that. Like, oh, Noah so-and-so is coming. We have to meet him. I'm like, all right, relax. I got you. But then me and Scorsese are just kibitzing, about different things. So I asked him, hey, would you mind? This is like my tradition, just to sign these 2 copies of the poster for me. Oh, of course. Hell yeah. And then he was like, you want a picture as well? I'm like, I'm not going to push it. To me, I'm going to cherish this moment more than a picture, because I can live with this, Like, of course, the picture would be nice. However, it's just, let me just have this to cherish for the rest of my life, And he's like, honestly, how old are you? I think I was 20 or 21 at the time. And he was like, not many kids your age would have said that to me. They would have stuck their phone in my face and just took the picture. And then I would have had to smack their phone out of their hand. And then he says, hey, Bob, come over here. Have you met Vincenzo? He's the theater manager here. He's like, no, I haven't had the pleasure to yet. He's like, all right, Bob Vincenzo Bob. I'm like, how you doing, Mr. De Niro? And then he's like, no, that's Bob. Hey, Bob, this is a friend of ours.
Oh,
when he
shit.
said that, I was done, bro. I could have died happy off of that.
I'm gonna go cry right now. I'm gonna go throw up and cry.
I legit stood on the balcony for the 2 hours they were speaking.
I would have jumped off because it's not getting better than that.
Just in awe of that alone, like it was
a friend
nuts.
Of ours.
So,
I would have been like, you son of a bitch. You gonna say that to me?
I called my brother legit, like, as soon as they left the building, I'm like, yo, bro, you won't fucking believe what just happened. Like,
have you ever been to Vegas?
No.
All right. So if you ever go to Vegas, make this plan just because what I'm about to tell you right now. In Vegas, you go to Fremont Street, which is the original strip, not the new strip, the original strip.
Okay.
And there's an old courthouse, and that's essentially the courthouse that they had all the trials and stuff that essentially took down I'll say quote unquote, took down the mob in Vegas.
Okay.
Essentially just hired them and made them government workers, but we all know the story there. Because our government only got good at being a government when they essentially dismantled the Italian mob and they gave them all jobs and taught them how to do the job the right way.
Remember what I told you, bro. There's no such thing as the mob.
Yeah.
I might have it on my shirt and my pants, on my gear that I wear when I wrestle. However, there's no such thing as the mob. It is only the families.
It's the family. But
that's what I got.
The old courthouse they turned into the mob museum.
Oh, that's fire.
And it is the greatest. Every time I go to Vegas, I do it every time. It's like 4 floors of like the beginning, the middle, there's a whole section that they're like, hey, if you're sensitive to death and gore, don't walk through here because this is all hit jobs, photos and videos of hits of like when people got whacked or whatever it may be. They have, bro, they have the St. Valentine's Day Massacre wall dismantled and rebuilt in this place. And then after you're done the whole tour, you go down they said, hey, if you want, go down the basement. That's a fucking full-on speakeasy.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's the craziest fucking. I love it. I bought the box set DVD. It's like 15 DVDs, and it's just like you name a gangster, they have this whole history, storylines, everything, and like how mob influenced movies and like all the Italians. I forget exactly what movie it was, but there was a movie where they're talking about a hit, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the guy, he chases him out of the house, he chases him through the courtyard, and then back through, and then he does this, this, and this to him." And there's a guy there who was hired by the movies to be the liaison, or like hey, was this correct? Was this right? Was this right? And they shot the scene.
The movie just came out last year, I think, didn't it?
Well, no, this is I might have been Casino. I don't remember, but essentially the guy was like, "You're doing it all wrong. This is exactly how the scene played out." And they're like, "Well, how the fuck do you know?" He goes, "Because I'm the one who fucking did the hit." And then he literally played himself and did the whole. He's like, "This is exactly what the route we took the whole night." Like he essentially recreated this murder. I was like, I love it.
Nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. I love it. Mob movies are absolutely my favorite. But all right, let's get back into this. That was a great segue. If I didn't do that with you, I would have been remiss.
When I do go to Vegas, though, I have to stay away from the casinos.
Yeah, I don't like casinos. I don't like gambling. I'm not a gambler.
Neither am I. However, I'm a winner. So
yeah,
I don't plan on disappearing in Vegas. So that's why I need to stay away.
Yeah, but definitely do the museum. It's a must.
I'll definitely do the museum, and then the second thing is I have to go see Chris Angel.
Okay, yeah. Are you a Chris Angel guy? You like Chris Angel?
Oh, 1,000%. I met his brother a while back. So he told me anytime I come out when I make it to Vegas, look him up, and
I'm a Penn and Teller. I like Penn and Teller.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like because I like when they'll show you how to do a whole trick. Like my favorite one they do is where they have the giant saw blade, like industrial saw, and they're cutting stuff. And they're like, "This is literally fake. You just do this, you do this," and then they literally like look like they cut someone in half, and they're like, "Now tell us how we did it." like they literally show you the whole trick and then add a whole little layer, or they're like, "Gotcha."
Yeah.
Yeah, I must have watched Penn and Teller bullshit on HBO Max like 100 times. But yes, getting back into it. If you can change one thing about the industry, what would it be?
Shit.
I love your Italian brain trying to answer this without getting in trouble. Nothing.
I'm not one for politics, bro. Like,
yeah.
That's obviously I conduct business very well. Yeah. However, I'm not one for the politics. I'm not a fucking politician, bro. Yeah. I'm just me, I'm what you get. Who I am is what you get.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, all that shit, So, I mean, I feel like there's a lot that can be changed, like, of course, like I feel like certain schools take kids' money.
They have no inhibition to you will never be a pro wrestler, but I'm gonna take your money for months.
You were an extra on Raw in 1996, and now you own a school. So shit like that, where it's like, okay, like I feel like that's the biggest thing because it all starts at a school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one thing Bubba would always say was people ask, like, so where do you think it goes bad? Like, do you think it goes bad at the top? Like, in when they make it there, or no? His answer was always no. It's out of school. Because you have people like that who just take your money and, okay, what do you want to learn today?
Yeah.
You want to learn how to do a drop kick? Go right ahead. We'll teach you how to do a drop kick. You want to learn how to do Canadian Destroyer? Yeah, we'll teach you how to do a Canadian Destroyer. Like, I feel like that's probably like the biggest thing that comes to mind when I heard that question. Other than that, I'm sure we can name off shit, but what's the point?
I will say for me personally, I don't like how we protect people who shouldn't be in the business, but we still find ways to let them be in the business because either they own a ring or they own a school or they have something. But like, if you fucked with kids or with fans and used your stature to try to game someone or get your dick wet, get the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
especially children.
100%.
If you're fucking with kids, You can't fuck with kids and still be in Sesame Street. Because at the end of the day, this is still a business for children. And even if you had a sniff of that, get the fuck out. And there's no excuse why you should still be there.
I agree with that.
I hate that. I hate it so much.
Now, I was raised by my stepfather. My stepfather was my father,
Yeah.
My dad. He was incarcerated for a majority of his life. And that was one thing he never tolerated. And he always told us, no, don't ever tolerate any of that shit. Because that's what he used to do when he was in there. They'd hunt them and they'd fucking, they'd go hunting.
Yep. So, not a fan. Don't like, that's my biggest thing is like, but they
1000%.
used to be on TV. I don't care. Why are they here? Get them out.
1000%.
Get them out.
With that being said, what the hell was I going to say from that? Shit. I don't know. What's the segue?
What is something you think you will never really understand about wrestling? That was a question from the chat.
People will never really understand about wrestling. It's all an illusion.
Yeah. It's magic.
Just like magic. It's all an illusion.
It's all an illusion.
That's why, like, it's cool that I'm starting to now, like, get back into magic. Like, I carry a deck of cards with me at all times because there's times where I'm not a very sociable person. Like, I am, but people also look at me like, oh, all right, this guy got a fucking problem. Italian from New York, probably crazy RBF and very intimidating if I'm just standing there not saying a word, So,
yeah.
But, like, it helps me connect with people in a way that's like, oh, shit, They might not remember my name because if they're in the town, I'm sure that they're going to meet at least 10 Vinnies being in New York, but they'll always remember the magician. So that's definitely helped me a lot. And it's also helping me make connections in the industry, like Joe Hendry, when I fucking ran into him at Comic-Con, like, oh shit. Hey, Joe Hendry, how you doing? Vincenzo, can I show you a magic trick? Oh yeah, sure. I'll do it for my vlog, So that, like shit like that, where it's like, oh, now maybe he might remember me. The magician from Comic-Con, it's just things like that. Like the Bella twins. I did, like, my friend Tyler told me, hey, I'm going to meet the Bella twins, bro. You got to come. All right, if I come, I'm going to show them a fucking magic trick, bro. Like, so it's cool that I'm doing it that way as well for the outside and making those connections in the industry.
Totally.
But who asked the question, Lily?
Yeah.
Lily, it's all an illusion. There's certain fucking people that people still hate each other. I'm sure there's certain people that still actually hate each other. However, it's all an illusion.
Yeah. I would say is it's not, and I would even say this for the top, because people think that WWE is like the most planned out, scripted out. We have things figured out for the next 6 months. Pro wrestling has changed most times on the fly that day. Like
subject to change.
It's so much improv, which I think is even more impressive because they figure things out, and especially the workers. Like a producer, a agent, a booker can tell you what they want and the idea, but for the most part, if you want the best magic, tell them the idea, what you want as a booker, the storyline you wanted to tell, who you want to win, and let them paint the paintbrushes while they're between the ropes.
Yeah.
Unless you're taking 45 minutes to paint that paintbrush and you're only supposed to have 8.
Like, to me, the best work I've done is on the fly.
Yeah.
And not saying that the shit I do that's not on the fly is not good or great. It's just, it's certain levels to it. Like Jericho's book. They were wrestling how many fucking nights a week and just being out there and present in the crowd, like it's just different. So I think bringing that back. So my number one thing is that I always told myself is to bring realism back in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like when I think, like, I remember my grandfather, they believed that shit then. Like if you watch any of the old Garden shows, they did absolutely nothing.
Yep.
in the best way fucking possible. Like
Yep.
a punch meant something.
Mm-hmm.
One punch meant something. That's why I'm very adamant about how if I do punch in a match, you know, but I do my version of the Dusties, you know, don't get me wrong, but it's just, you know, like bringing the realism back in wrestling. That's always what I told myself. It's because, especially now in today's day of age, everyone knows everything.
Yeah. It's hard to shock people. What are words of encouragement for a beginner and trying to just chase their dreams?
Find the best school that you can. I'm plugging Battlefield right in that because I've trained there a few times. I wish I was there more often, but due to my car situation, I'm not.
That's a hike too.
I can't make it out there. Trust me, if there was a way to make it there by public transportation, I'd be on that every week. There's no fucking buses that go out there. There's no trains that go out there.
Once you get to Pennsylvania, you're like, public what?
Even if I took a bus out there, I'd still have to find a way from said bus to the closest bus is like an hour and a half away, regardless of anything. So
yep.
It's stuff like that. But
this is why when people say I don't know how, like you don't know how to do public, we don't have that out here.
But yeah, Battlefield is definitely a great school. Just because Alpha, his mind is completely, he knows his shit, and he's part of the most prestigious wrestling family there is in this business that predate the McMahons. Like,
yeah.
So, especially his dad. I never got the chance to meet him. God rest his soul, you know. But like, he has that same mind, you know.
Have you played the new 2K25 yet?
What happened?
Have you played the 2K25 yet?
25, I don't think so. Or maybe.
So I just got it, and the whole storyline is the Bloodline storyline where you go back and change the history. I just did the Steiners versus the Head Shrinkers. Oh my! In Vegas when they wrestled in Vegas. Oh my god, so much fun.
That's fire. But yeah, I would say find a good school, a very reputable school in your hometown, and no matter how hard you think it is, it will get harder. It's just up to you and your determination to make it through.
Yeah.
Because this shit ain't for everybody at all. I remember when I first was learning how to bump, they would tell me to go and they will tell me when to stop. I remember there was a veteran that came to the school. He was a world-renowned veteran. And he saw me. I always saw him at shows beforehand, like, you know, doing ring crew and stuff. And he would always say, hi, how you doing? You know, it's part of the business. But that day, he never forgot my name to every show afterwards. Because he saw me go into the ring. Me at my size back then when I first started, 380, sorry.
380.
380, I don't. At least 75 to 100 bumps per class. Just bump and feed. Bump, get up, bump and feed. Boom. And I'm not even taking anything from anybody. Me just taking my own bumps, get up, bump, get up, bump, get up. And every show after that class I seen him at, he always remembered my name. Because even that day afterwards, he told me, he's like, how? I'm like, well, I'm young, and two, I'm being told to do it, so I'm doing, you know, like. Also be coachable. That's I feel like that's the biggest one of them all.
Yeah. Who, not on the list, but just one last one before I ask the last question here. Who was the best seminar you attended? Because I know off of school you get a lot of cool names showing up here and there. What was one of your favorite seminars you were part of?
Jacob Fatu. That wasn't at Battlefield either. That was at a promotion called GSW, Global Syndicate Wrestling.
Jacob's got to be such a good, because like he could teach you life and wrestling. Like that guy pulled himself out of nothing. You know what I mean? I love Jacob.
So that's how the promoter paid us for our time. I always drove the ring truck to any show that Team 3D was a part of. I drove the ring truck. Of course, there was the guys before me that were still there, like our elders. Gio Galvano was the ring truck guy. Then I told him, like, hey, bro, if it's too much for you, I can do it, you know? Like, for you to drive the ring truck and for you to do all that shit and then wrestle and then, you know, all that whole thing. I'm like, I can help you out. I don't mind it. All right, cool. So we drove the ring truck. He picked up the truck because I was still under 25, so they would have charged me an arm and a leg for it. At this time, our travel ring was Tommy Dreamer's ring. It was the same ring we used for House of Hardcore and all that
House of Hardcore, yep.
So GSW rented it for that weekend. It was the weekend of August 20th and 21st. I'll never forget because my sister's birthday was August 20th, or is August 20th. So we picked up the ring in Danbury at the storage unit on Thursday, loaded it up Thursday, drove it back to my house, which is an hour away from Danbury, parked it there overnight. Then the next morning, got up at the crack ass early of dawn, drove that ring truck from my house to Asbury Park, New Jersey, in the House of Independence. That was the venue. So we got the ring set up and everything. There was 2 shows. It was Friday, Saturday. So I left the ring there. I literally drove there, set it up, and left because my sister's birthday. We got to go celebrate sister's birthday. So went up there and then went back the next day.
Your phone did the emoji because you talk with your hands as you're Italian.
Yeah, wait, it did?
Yeah,
it
you did like that.
Yeah, it was great. So the promoter basically said, I don't really have any money to give you guys, so you guys can do the seminar for free.
Oh, love that.
And
that's better. That's better than money.
1,000%. Hell yeah. And it, like I said, everything in this wrestling world, everything does come full circle. Mm-hmm. And I'm a firm believer of that.
When Alpha used to bring a lot of people in for PPW for seminars, obviously I'm not a wrestler. So the seminar, like for me, when it comes to the in-ring stuff, it's nothing for me. Like I can't really get much out of it in the physicality aspect, but I would just watch. I would just sit in the corner and I'd watch. I'd be doing commentary notes, but I'd be literally watching and just listening to what they're saying and what they're teaching. Cause like I'm learning, oh, that's why they step with that. That's why they do this. Why learning the engine so I can be a better mind for the business. And man, some of the people like Luke Gallows was so good. Brian Kendrick was amazing. Unfortunately, he's no longer in the business because of, he got in trouble or whatever it may be. But Davey Richards was unreal. Jay Lethal was unbelievable. Like just good. I love seminars. I love just watching them and seeing people react and how they go through them.
Oh, 1,000%. Like, so I soak up all knowledge. I'm a sponge. Also, my time at Team 3D, I was the newest recruit, I guess, or young boy, however you want to, whatever terminology you want to use. So anytime Bubba had a show on the indies or like any show he had, I was the one working his table with him. So at the ECW arena, I was there, and they did like they had like the Icons of Wrestling con, like meet and greet shit before the actual show. So everybody that's the top of the industry is there.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them would go out to the diner right there afterwards. And I'm just sitting at the table with all of them, saying nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Just listen.
Eating my food and just listening and soaking up all the knowledge that I possibly can from that aspect of it. So there's not many seminars I've done. I attended the Kurt Angle one at House of Glory. But even at that, I didn't really get involved in the ring.
I would love to go to a House of Glory show. I want to experience a House of Glory show.
Tremendous.
They're so good.
It's scary. Like, so another full circle moment, like when I eventually wrestled for House of Glory, all the guys that we used to wrestle in the park with were trained by Red.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that was the first school that was ever brought to our attention. And a few years ago, I was working security for the Eminem show at Governor's Ball. Governor's Ball is like a big music festival they have on Randall's Island in Manhattan. And I remember seeing there was a guy trying to come through the gate that my bosses told me nobody gets to fucking come through this gate. Guy, gold diamonds all over his neck with his daughter, and he had the M&M family pass. Trying to come through the gate. One of the other guards was like, "No, nobody's allowed to come through this gate." I'm like, so I come over. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" "Oh, he has to pass." "Yeah, come on." And then by the twinkle in my eye from his diamonds, I saw a HOG chain. I'm like, "HOG, isn't that House of Glory?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh shit." Like, what do what do you do for House of Glory? He's like, I don't remember if he was part owner or if he was just a part of it. And that's the first time I ever met West Side Gun.
Oh yeah. So I did a show in Philly, WrestleMania weekend. I was doing commentary at Suplex Vintage Wrestling, and he was doing autograph signings. That's the biggest show I've ever worked. There was like 2,000 people there. It was the craziest wrestling show I've ever done in my life.
And now he has Fourth Rope. So
yeah, Fourth Rope. Yeah.
Definitely on my radar.
Well, PPW used to be the feeder school for House of Glory when the students couldn't get on House of Glory shows because they were still too new. They all went to PPW and earned their chops back when so PPW went from a church in Hazleton to Broadheadsville and then Broadheadsville to Slatington. Listen to this lineup. This is who used to roll through from House of Glory to start their journey at PPW. Rembrandt, Evander James, Charles Mason, the main event. Casey Navarro wasn't a House of Glory guy, but he started his like early journey at the PPW side. Amazing Red came in. I mean, Casey Navarro and Amazing Red worked a match. It was unbelievable.
I first met Casey at Northeast. That was the first ever time I met Casey. He was at Northeast.
Yeah, Casey was a PPW guy in the really early days. I love Casey. I actually met Casey. I went and watched Casey wrestle when I went to London 2 years ago when he was he wrestled for Defy and Beyond. He wrestled Nick Wayne. And I just like to go across the pond and see Casey wrestle in another country was super sick. But yeah, man, oh my God, that was a cool days. But like that whole roster, Big Game Leroy, Bones, all those House of Glory guys were all early PPW guys. And Charles Mason was one of the coolest dudes. Like he's killing it right now. I love that guy to death.
He's on a whole nother level at this moment.
So good. I watched that guy go babyface heel in one Rumble, and the crowd bought into it every single time.
That's amazing.
He's so good. He's so good. All right, last question, and we'll get you out of here. What are you grateful for, and are you currently happy?
I'm grateful for the people I have in my life, both professional and personal. Everybody, my whole team, my family. My team is my family at the end of the day. But everybody that is in my life, I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I get to do what I want. I'm grateful I'm still alive. Like where I come from, there's friends of mine that have died at a very young age from street violence, from drug addiction, from just the whole 9 yards. So I thank God every day that I'm still able to be alive and to have my family around, you know? Like my stepfather died at a young, like I was 15. But even at that, like that brought us closer, but still like, broke the family up in a way. But like everybody that's in my life now is why I'm still here, like my godmother, my mother, my sister, my brother, my nephew. That's honestly what I do this shit for, bro. Like I do this for him.
Godparents are the only, like Italians are the only ones who like honor that godparent thing. Like every other culture is like, who's your godmother? Like, what the hell is that? I'm like, oh, okay, that's just an Italian thing.
But like for real, like it's just like I know without them I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
Like of course I'm sure I would still be me, but what version of that,
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't know because but yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my family. Me being able to do what I do. I'm grateful for Battlefield for giving me the opportunity to join them and to show off my talents. And still I'm not even at the cusp yet of what I know I can do.
Yeah, I agree with that. There actually is one more question, and I'm literally looking at your name, and I'm like, I didn't ask this, and I'm an idiot. Where does Left Hand Man come from? Where do you pull from for that?
I'm a lefty.
That's it.
That's the canon of it. Like legit, I'm a lefty. So, but everyone knows the right hand man.
Yeah.
The boss has the right hand man, but nobody ever talks about the left hand man.
The left hand's a sneaky one.
Man is the one who's behind the scenes handling business. So in the event shit goes down and people get pinched, everything gets blamed on the right hand man. It's also my position in the family as well. So yes, I'm a lefty, but it's my position in the family that I hold.
Yeah, the left hand man's the guy who runs the front of the butcher shop. And people think he's the butcher, but he's the one that when the right hand man goes to jail, he's the one that keeps it alive. I have some left hand man in my family. I like that, dude. Italians are super simple. Like you said, Tony Two Time. Like why do you call him that? Oh, because he says everything twice. Like it's that easy.
Gotta go get the papers. Get the papers. You know.
Yeah. Well, listen, your family and everyone who brought you up and your story, thank you so much for telling that to me. I'm glad we finally had this conversation. I love you to death, man. I genuinely look forward to seeing you every show. Behind the scenes, I'm going to break cave. Great hugger, Vincenzo. Great hugger. He's a good body to hug. It's very warm. It's very comforting. Love him to death. I seen Mama Vincenzo was in the chat. Thank you for hanging out. You got a good son here. He's a great kid. But I agree. I think you're only just getting on the start, but I think your mentality and the way you conduct yourself is top notch, and I look forward to it. And the day you get that title shot, I will be at Battlefield. Sorry, I get them confused. Battlefield to try to support you and be there. I'm a big fan of you as a human and as a performer, and I can't wait to do more with you.
I appreciate the kind words.
Always. Where can people find and support you?
So, all my social medias, Young Mobster, YVNG, Mobstar. Because I am a mob star, not a mobster. You know, there's a difference. ProWrestlingTees.com/lefthandman, I think. Yeah, /lefthandman.
Bring a 2X to the next show if you have any.
Got you. I just placed an order, so I'm waiting on Pro Wrestling Tees to send them out and get them delivered to me at a timely fashion. If not, I'm gonna have to go to Chicago and fucking shake some trees, you know.
Or you can go to my merch page and find a shirt you like and send me a screenshot of the size and color you want. I'll order one and we can do a shirt exchange if you want.
Oh,
like a jersey
swap. Yeah, I'm with that. Also, I'm gonna break the news here.
Oh,
I'm gonna break the news here.
Breaking news, ABJ podcast.
So, Left Hand Man is a magician, and I always have a deck of cards on me. However, I'm also a professional wrestler, sports entertainer, whatever flavor of ice cream, whatever name you like to call it in this day of age. So, with that being said, Left Hand Man trading cards now available at a show near you. They will be available at Battlefield Rumble on... We're in September, right? I'm not bugging?
Yep.
September 28th for the Battlefield Rumble. Left Hand Man's playing cards will be available for purchase. So here's the little sneak peek, or I don't even know if that's fully. I don't know how to do this.
I see it looks good.
I'm not a vlogger, so I got the cards coming down, and then the back is the best part of it because it looks like a box of bicycle cards.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
bullet holes in there. I like it.
Left Hand Man trading cards available.
That's so sick. I love it. I'm stoked. I just got business cards, but they're not as cool. I just got the super simple. I have the business card, and because I'm a nerd, so this is the card, right? And then just the QR code in the back. But I made a chase version where I got me as it's like a tarot card, but
it's kind of fire though.
Yeah, I commissioned an artist to make me a little devil, but yeah,
it's pretty fire.
But I will, everyone, please. I have your Instagram link below. But also, not only did you maybe have to change the name, but make a link tree and put all your stuff on one thing and put that in your Instagram bio so people can go and find your pro wrestling tees and stuff. Because
if I go to your Instagram bio, like you did my last name, You would have seen the link.
I didn't see a link tree in there. I would have put it in there.
Would you have? Did you have? All right. Let me ask you a question. Did you have your readers on or not?
I'm looking. I'm looking right now. If there's a link tree in there, I'm gonna be really upset. But I did not see a link tree.
Did you not?
There is a link tree. There's a link
tree.
Did
you have your readers on when you look?
There's a link tree in there. All right. I will add it as soon as this is done to the stream so you guys can find it below. It's 100 link tree, and that's linkt.ee/vinmob.
2 B's.
2 B's.
2 B's. There you go.
I will update that immediately. I'll put that in there right now. I did not see it in there.
I'm telling you weren't wearing your readers.
I wasn't wearing the readers. I was like, this guy does not have a link tree. He's got to get it together here. And it was there the whole time. How you doing? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. My computer's so slow. I can't do this right now. I'm going to mess everything up. We'll see you guys next time. Here's some music by the Converse Kid. We're out of here. Oh, I will be live. I don't know what's going on this Thursday. There may be a show coming this Thursday. I don't know if we're doing a tornado tag or if we're doing a football live stream. But next Tuesday, I will have on my buddy Chuck. We're going to be doing a horror movie review. We haven't nailed down what horror movie we're going to do. And then the following Tuesday, she was in the chat earlier, but we're going to have a super fan on the podcast. So make sure you guys tune in for that one. I'll put the stream up very soon, or the flyer. But that's going to do it. Here's some music by the Converse Kid. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.